Let's give it up for our mightiest snack platform, the nacho.
Beautiful, baby.
It's like the happy hour
of nachos.
Why nachos?
Why not nachos?
It hits every taste bud you own.
Because every chip you grab is like a little shovel of love forged in paradise.
Best nacho I've ever had.
Kind of sweet, kind of savory.
Fluffy, flaky.
kind of spicy.
And we've got the mega munchable flavor pileups, big enough to feed a whole crowd.
Really takes the nachos to another level.
And do it loud, bite after bite after bite.
Like the perfect bite every time.
We pledge our allegiance to Nacho Nation.
Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it.
Absolutely scrumptious.
Just an hour north of the Mexican border, the surfer town of San Clemente, California is a great spot to ride the nacho wave and crunch the curl.
It's the last small beach town left. You're either a surf bum or you wanted a house on the beach. And it's a mix of all those people, and it's really fun.
Justin Shea took the already laid-back beach vibe and multiplied it by Polynesia at his happening hangout named after his son Jaden, Hapa J's.
I put the J in the Hapa J.
Hapa is a Hawaiian term meaning of mixed Asian descent, and that really captures the eclectic cuisine here.
Hawaiian food is an embodiment of a lot of cultures that came to Hawaii. You have Korean, Japanese, Filipino, Chinese, all those things mixing together.
Those flavors, as well as some Mexicali classics, shine through in their sunniest starter, Hapa Nachos.
We kind of like food with a sense of humor about it. Gets people to kind of open their eyes a little bit at the table. And certainly when you drop them nachos, people's eyes go big.
But what is it about nachos that are so good?
You're not gonna turn down a good plate of nachos anywhere you are. You're usually gonna share it with someone. It's a good time. It's a party wherever you're at.
It's the mounds of Kahlua pork that brings the Oahu wow factor.
Kahlua pig, Hawaiian pulled pork, there's no booze at all. I know it sounds weird.
Justin takes time to really get to know the pork.
Ask simple questions. What's its favorite color? Pink, probably, I'm assuming. Gets it nice and rested so it doesn't tense up.
He seasons with salt and their secret sauce, which has hints of soy, smoke, and a little something special.
Just love and tenderness, man.
In Hawaii, here's where you'd wrap your roast in banana leaves and throw it in a fire pit. But Justin opts for a convenient appliance called an oven. 4 hours later,
Gonna mash it up to get that pulled pork effect. Just gonna seep onto the chips. A little bit of a workout, get your cardio in. Get all those juices going.
jazz it up with a chipotle aioli.
You got smokiness, tang, spice, all that good stuff.
Then cool it down with an avocado-enhanced crema.
It's gonna kind of cool down all the spice and the smoke in that dish. I'm good to go.
Justin stacks fresh fried tri-colored tortilla chips as high as Mauna Kea.
It's gotta be big, because Hawaii, man, they do everything big out there, man. Big people, big appetites.
Officers Jack and Cheddar are on cheese patrol.
Volcano flavor.
Followed by the special spiciness of jalapenos.
Spice is nice. Throw that right into the salamander. You start to see that bubbling, that little char on the cheese. It means it's nice and crispy. It's ready for that pork right there.
Black bean salsa and our creamy sauces from before flow like lava down the sides of Mount Yummy Yoa.
Some cilantro to freshen it up. Kahlua pig nachos at Hapa J's, the best way to pig out.
You can't get enough nachos. It's like a mountain of goodness.
It's huge.
They just like speak to me. Cheese language.
The pork is almost a little sweet from the marinade, which is cut by jalapenos, and that spicy aioli is my favorite.
And everything else in between just gets lost in a marriage of awesomeness.
Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. Pull it, pull it. Everything's amazing. It's like melted perfectly. The sauce is perfect. The top part, they burn it up here. It's like all crispy, bubbly, and then it's underneath, it's gooey. It like sinks down.
We've been tearing at it for a little bit, and this thing's still around 3.5, 4 pounds.
I can't order nachos anywhere else because I'm always disappointed.
Yeah. I don't even
Always
try.
disappointed.
I don't even try.
The hearty seaside snacks at Hapa J's will really fuel your next food coma.
I need a nap.
If your heart is achy and/or breaky for a one-of-a-kind nacho experience, Nashville is a great place to be.
Who doesn't love nachos?
Just food piled on top of food. You eat it with your hands. You dig into it. It gets a little messy. It's fantastic.
Yes.
At Chohan Ale and Masala House, they've combined our favorite Southwestern treat with the festive flavors of Southwest Asia.
We didn't want it to be traditional Indian food. We wanted to have this cool gastropub feel. I found that Indian food, the spices pair extremely well with other types of cuisine. To me, it's almost like a no-brainer.
Exhibit A, crunchy Indian chips loaded with lots of spicy lamb and gooey cheese, called lamb keema nachos.
Who didn't grow up loving nachos and wanting them every day of their life? To take what I would consider one of the best cuisines in the world, Indian cuisine, and fuse that with one of my favorite dishes growing up as a child, to me is a no-brainer.
In lieu of chili, these babies will sport a deeply flavorful Buna curry sauce.
Every curry has its own specific blend, and this Buna has this kind of mild sweetness to it, and it actually ends up being a really great complement to that crispy chip and that melted cheese. Cumin, coriander, and chili powder.
Also key, turmeric, and a bold combo he calls the Double G.
It's 50% ginger, 50% garlic, mixed in a blender. That's it. All that right there, that's the flavor. Whew! You smell that ginger garlic coming out?
The nose knows what's tasty.
Oh, man.
With the curry world, Tom shifts focus to the diced lamb shoulder, spiced with garam masala, salt, and Kashmiri chili powder.
Get your hands in there and just go crazy, all right? You really want that spice to cure this meat.
The lamb gets the grind, then hits the heat.
Lamb in the pan. You want to brown this up a little bit. You can really start getting that garam masala flavor coming out. All the cloves and the bay leaves and the star anise and the cinnamon. And then after that, we'll go ahead and add our Buna sauce.
What's the verdict?
Man, I outdid myself. This one's delicious.
Chef layers the Buna on a base of papadi chips, crispy Indian rice crackers. Cheese-wise, Chef breaks with Indian and Nashville tradition with a St. Louis favorite.
We'll sprinkle it with that great Provel cheese. It melts right, it tastes right, it's got the saltiness you want, the creaminess you want. Top it with another layer of nachos. Most important part is 2 layers, all right? You gotta have meat and cheese in the middle and on top. You wanted that big, bold lamb Buna flavor.
And into the salad melter.
Boom.
Instead of salsa, Tom squeezes on tamarind chutney. Then the familiar nacho favorites finish things off.
Pickled jalapenos. Just keep spicing this dish up. Lastly, cilantro. Done. Spice up your life with these lamb keema nachos.
You want to use a fork to try to get in there and get like
I'm
a
not
big...
gonna use a fork with nachos.
So the tamarind chutney really is what brings the sweetness, right? And you need that sweetness to balance the sour, the spice.
Seems like sweet wouldn't go with nachos, but it actually really works with the savory flavor of the lamb and the onions. It's absolutely scrumptious.
It's got the creamy cheesiness, but there's fiery masala spices, a little bit of jalapeno and cilantro. Oh.
Nachos are enormously great.
Fluffy, flaky. Totally different than what you get like with another dish that has like corn chips.
Eat this in your mouth. Again. Look out, I'm putting it all in your mouth. Who else wants a nacho down there? This is my helicopter of deliciousness, and this is my landing pad.
If you think about it, poutine is pretty much Canadian nachos. And east meets north in Chohan's sumptuous tandoori chicken poutine.
Poutine is traditionally a obviously Canadian dish featuring some type of beef gravy. In this case, we're using an Indian curry as our gravy. It features a makni sauce, which if you've ever had chicken tikka masala, you'll know one of the most delicious sauces and probably the most famous sauces in Indian cuisine.
The buttery tomato makhani sauce makes the perfect bed for our French fries.
Some chicken that's been cooked in the tandoor oven.
Then Chef piles on the traditional Wisconsin cheese curds.
Now we're gonna top it again and do another layer, because 2 layers is always better. We'll finish with a little more of the chicken, some cheese. You can never have too much cheese.
A little more makhani, and prepare for the global French fry feast.
a Canadian classic here in Nashville by the way of India, tandoori chicken poutine.
Far exceeds any poutine I've ever had before because it has that great Indian spice to it. I like this cheese because it's a mild cheese. It really lets the other flavors of the dish shine through.
Tandoori chicken's gorgeous. The cheese curds, amazing. All these firsting flavors I'm getting. They're a beautiful, beautiful combination. This is probably the best poutine I've had.
The surprises never end at Chauhan Ale and Masala House, and neither does your appetite.
Okay, I'm so full, but I still can't stop eating it.
Sweet Southern cooking is what comes to mind when you think of Atlanta. But over in Midtown, people in the ATL are going bonkers for the fusion of Korean and Mexican flavors being served at Taqueria.
The great thing about the Korean and Mexican food is that they're very similar in foods together. It blows your mind.
Co-owners Mark Haydett and Tomas Lee hatched a scheme to introduce Korean food to this part of the South. The plan? Forgo fine dining and dazzle the crowd with creativity.
You can only do so much in a fine dining setting, and here we can do all kinds of stuff. Crazy creative dishes, new flavors.
His fusion playlist? The Korean fried chicken gogi nachos.
Nachos are like a symphony. Lots of different instruments, a big old pile of spicy, creamy, crunchy. People love it. They eat it up.
I could eat nachos all the time. It's a big plate usually, and you can always eat it with friends. It's a classic go-to.
Taking these nachos from south of the border to south of the 38th parallel is a traditional Korean barbecue sauce, starring red pepper paste, vinegar, and sugar.
The consistency of this sauce is creamy. It's got some heat, it's got some sweetness, it's got some sourness to it. But the last thing I like to add for amazing flavor is a little bit of sesame oil.
Tomas was a whiz kid in culinary school, but his love for cooking began at home.
The first time I ever remember cooking was in the backyard with my grandmother, and we're cooking delicious Korean ribs, and I was like, man, this is what I was born to do. I love it. It's not even work.
With the sauce ready, he turns to the gogi.
Gogi means meat.
Fun to eat, fun to say. This particular gogi gets brined in buttermilk for 24 hours, dredged and double fried.
Double frying is the Korean way. See how golden brown it is? We're gonna drop it back in to make it extra crispy.
Also extra crispy, house-made tortilla chips baked with jack cheese. That sturdy base gets the fried chicken, then a luxurious sauce of cream and queso is slowly warmed and amply applied.
Look at that. Drizzle it all over. Beautiful, baby.
To balance the richness of the cheese, Tomas adds a tangy Mexican salad of romaine, onions, and cilantro. Then it's the sweet, spicy Korean red sauce, pickled jalapenos, and a final flourish of sour cream.
There you have it. Gogi nachos, bringing soul to Atlanta.
I've been practicing being vegan, but today I'm vegan/Korean Mexican.
It tastes like Korea and Mexico had a love child. It all came together in one delicious plate.
The cheese sauce is similar to queso, and it really just adds flavor to the chicken.
These are some of the best nachos I've ever had.
The red sauce has almost kind of like a peanut kind of taste to me. It tastes really good, but it's different. It's unexpected.
I'm all about seasons and spice. So you have Asian and Mexican, which are like a mouthful of just flavor, and I love flavor.
Full and happy. Combining elements is so contagious, even the customers are getting in the game.
You want to fuse the nacho meals with the nacho dessert as if there's not enough fusion going on already?
Mexican food is getting mucho popular in Cleveland, which lately has become a legit food town. And it's where the humble nacho is being reimagined to the nth degree at Fahrenheit.
Yes, we're a fine dining white tablecloth restaurant, but we wanted to have some fun with it. Throw one of these babies on a table and it's automatically a party.
Chef David got his start making fancy food with Wolfgang Puck, so he loves performing a swanky switcheroo on unassuming everyday items, even nachos.
It's something simple, but people love it. It's fun, it's friendly, it's interactive. Everybody at the table puts their hands in at one time. There's a smile on their face.
What's making them smile the widest is Fahrenheit's totally Midwestern, totally towering Cleveland nachos.
It's a pile of awesome.
These things are stacked high. I think this would challenge any sandwich in New York City, any deep dish pizza in Chicago.
You know what? It's Cleveland. Anything can happen in Cleveland.
My food philosophy is keep it simple. You don't have to do a lot to this food to make it taste great.
Dave's being modest because these deceptively simple nachos begin with a house-made Parmesan fondue that seems a little fancy.
Of course nachos can be fancy. First off, we're gonna sweat some shallots.
Dave brings on Cleveland's favorite pork product.
Bacon is gonna bring crispiness and smokiness to the dish. It cuts right through the cream. It's delicious. We're gonna incorporate this. We're looking for it to reduce by half.
With the sauce 50% thicker, Dave goes 100% Nacho Rogue, replacing the usual domestic cheddar with an imported Parm, partly because of the flavor.
Parmesan has a sharp, salty, pungent taste.
And partly because it thickens the sauce pronto.
Now it's time to hit it with a little S&P. Then we're gonna hit it with the green onions. Perfect.
Fondue fabulous. Dave moves on to classical nacho variation number 2, potato chips.
Why potatoes? Because Cleveland is a meat and potato town. We have a fancy potato spinner in the kitchen. We take Kenny-Beck potatoes. It brings them out nice and thin.
Those state-of-the-art State Fair-style potato ribbons cook in a 350-degree fryer. Then, the golden brown chips are tossed in some simple seasoning.
They're crispy, they're salty, they're delicious. We're gonna pile them high on this plate. Take our Parmesan fondue, pour it over the top. Look at that, it's full of bacon, smoky goodness.
Crumbled bacon adds even more smoky goodness, while Parmesan, green onions, and thyme are the final notes in this yummy magnum opus.
It's time to rock and roll, the Cleveland nachos.
This is like a double Parmesan explosion. It's so good.
These are so decadent.
When you have nachos, you can't have too much cheese, so why don't you put Parmesan on the Parmesan fondue? So now you've got this cheesy mass of awesomeness with bacon, and you can't go wrong.
What's better than bacon? Nothing.
Bacon and bacon. Love it. The whole thing is amazing.
These things are stacked high. I think this would challenge any sandwich in New York City, any deep dish pizza in Chicago.
Dave's not done innovating yet. Next, he sends our taste buds on an island getaway with his ahi poke nachos.
I got the idea for the poke nachos when I was living in Hawaii. With my background as a sushi chef, I decided to bring that to the Midwest.
This one features thick slices of ruby red ahi tuna, which Dave dices like the expert sushi chef he is.
We're gonna mix it with our soy sesame chili oil. That's where the magic happens. You're gonna get that sweet soy, that saltiness, and a little bit of chili flavor.
Once again, tortilla chips stay on the bench. These babies are built on a bed of fresh fried wonton chips, which Dave layers with his house-brined shallots.
Some cilantro, a little bit of jalapenos for some heat, some spring onions, give it a next layer of flavor.
Then it's a Poseidon-sized portion of the fresh-made ahi poke. Lime aioli and sesame seeds finished with tropical flair. Aloha!
And just like that, island style in the Midwest.
It's almost too pretty to eat. There's a lot of heart into this dish.
So they have tuna instead of cheese, which is absolutely amazing. Look at all the flavor they have packed on one wonton.
That tuna, you can see, it's as fresh as you can get. That's what makes this place different than any other restaurant in town.
A little lime, a little cilantro. It really takes the nachos to another level.
See, I love that lime citrusy flavor you get in there. And nothing like a homemade chip. You can just tell these are not from the bag. You can tell in every bite.
Perfect set of nachos.
It's a perfect storm of flavor and innovation that's steering nachos and Cleveland onto a totally new course.
Cleveland's always been known as being the mistake on the lake, but I can proudly say that that's just false. Look at this plate of nachos.
There's never a no-show when it comes to nachos in Los Angeles. They've even got part of the day roped off to accommodate the crowds.
It's like the happy hour
of nachos.
Super nacho hour.
It is super nacho hour.
Super Nacho.
Making it happen is the man they call the mayor of the downtown LA food scene, Joseph Centeno.
It's great to be able to have my version of Tex-Mex in Los Angeles. I mean, it is the food that I do crave.
He's chipping away at their appetites, combining traditional ingredients with modern flair at Bar Ama.
It's named after my great-grandmother, Ama. It's inspired by all the food that we grew up eating.
In a town known for creating larger-than-life heroes, check out this blockbuster, the Super Nachos. And as the old saying goes, let peace begin with chips.
Chips are the vessel. You can't have chips that are too thick. You can't have chips that are too thin. They have to have enough salt.
He keeps his eye on the fry.
It's important to keep them shaking. You're perfect.
Butter, flour, and milk start a classic Tex-Mex queso with a little bit of a French twist.
The shredded cheese, and this is our brie mixture.
Does that add a silky richness? Oui.
It doesn't get better than this.
Commence nachification.
This is where you start saucing in layers.
Those load-bearing chips are sturdy enough to handle a ton of flavor. Cotija cheese, herbs, and pickled vegetables are met with meat.
This is the picadillo. We make it every day. It's ground beef with our chili mix, which is 12 to 15 different chili spices. This thing's up to LA earthquake standards.
House-made salsa, guacamole, and you know what the clock in your tummy says.
It's Super Nacho Hour at Bar Ma.
Not good.
Now that was the perfect bite.
It's really savory. It's a little spicy. And the queso is so rich.
Ooh, that good queso. Really smooth texture.
The pickled onions, the radishes, the guacamole. You're not gonna get that at a ball game. Here, they're looking out for you.
It's so good.
For sure, the best nachos in LA.
Searching for a more macho nacho, Joseph's got the short rib chalupa.
It's a giant nacho, essentially. A giant stuffed nacho.
The dish was partially inspired by his dad, who was always bringing work home with him.
My dad was a butcher. We grew up eating a ton of short rib.
Joseph treats the meat with an eye-opening flavorizer.
So this is my dad's coffee spice rub. It's a mix of chilies and some other family secrets.
And we'll leave that to coffee clatch in the oven for a while.
It's been about 4 hours, and the short rib looked beautiful. You can just see it's like just breaking apart.
For the chalupa itself, Joseph uses fresh masa corn flour and a little pressure.
This is very classic. Some things are just better as the original, and this is how it's been done forever.
Impressive.
And we're gonna fry it until it's just crispy. We want it to have a little bit of chew.
Chalupa is a Spanish word for canoe, and Joseph rocks the boat with some tasty refried beans.
These have pork and a lot of beer and cilantro. Guacamole.
Followed by a long supply of that short rib. A cabbage and kale slaw tossed with the Mexican vinaigrette adds brightness and crunch.
A little bit of cheese.
A house-made hot sauce contributes a kick.
Well, there's 12 to 15 chilies and vinegar, but that's about all I'm at liberty to say.
Cheers. Oh my gosh.
That is delicious. The short rib meat is very moist, very flavorful. You can tell it's been seasoned properly. The Hercules of nachos. Yeah.
The award for the most original take on nachos may just go to LA's own Bar Ama. But it's an honor just to be nominated.
I can't get enough. Can I have another one?
From opulent burgers to a pyre of paella, Las Vegas raises the stakes on practically every meal dished up within Sin City limits. Now, turning nachos into a headline attraction is Nacho Daddy.
This is the first time I've ever heard of a place putting nachos actually as an entree. Nothing beats these nachos.
Oh no, there's nachos as an appetizer, and then there's this.
Nachos were the Rodney Dangerfield, right? And Nacho Daddy has finally brought respect to nachos.
Let me tell you, owner Paul Hymas is a stand-up guy who's elevated nachos to an art form.
Chips are like our canvas, and you just paint on top of it. It's a great platform, just like pizza is. You can add proteins, you can add vegetables, you can do sauces, you can do so many things with it. Nachos are fun. Vegas is fun. How can you go wrong?
When it comes to high-rolling style, you certainly can't get more Vegas than the filet mignon nachos.
This is Vegas. It's high limits. Our nachos should be the same way. This filet mignon is such high quality. It's got nice marbling. It's gonna melt in your mouth.
The tender filet is diced and marinated in garlic, cumin, and 3 different kinds of dried chilies.
Guajillo gives us a nice pure chili flavor. The ancho gives us a spicy raisin sweetness. And then chamayo is a beautiful, earthy complexity. It's our holy trinity of chilies. We're gonna mix it until it's all incorporated, and every piece of this meat has got some nice, bold flavor to it.
Marinated filet meets smoking hot skillet, and passions are igniting. Eric backs up that chili-spiced filet with a tomato-based ranchero sauce. Traditional tortilla chips are blanketed with melted cheddar and jack cheeses, and hallelujah, it's raining meat.
You could eat these just the way they are, but we're gonna take it to a whole nother level.
Sour cream, pico, and guac launch this steak into the stratosphere.
This will feed an army, this nacho. It's massive.
Filet mignon. On a nacho? Are you kidding me right now? Amazing.
The filet mignon, it's like a high roller nacho. Filet is like the top of the line, and to consider it to be added as a part of the nacho is an excellent idea.
The steak is perfect. All the flavor comes through, the pico and cheese. It's like going to your best steakhouse and just ordering a steak itself and cutting it up.
Now that the party's in full swing, put your chips down on Nacho Daddy's Southeast Asian twist, the Thai Chicken Nachos.
I love these Thai flavors in this dish because they have sweet and spicy. Took an ordinary Thai dish and turned it into an extraordinary nacho.
Chef Eric begins his extraordinary nacho journey by marinating chicken in fresh garlic and a custom blend of Thai chilies, sugar, and ground orange peel.
This is gonna give it lots of flavor. It's gonna give it that burn that you want to help balance with the cheese.
While the chicken takes in that taste of Thailand, Eric preps the oh-so-vital tortillas, made in-house with spinach puree.
They give this nacho lots of color. When I think of Thai flavors, I think of a lot of vegetables, and so this helps reinforce that vegetable flavor.
Those chips are money. Eric antes up some sliced jalapenos and then deals in the chicken.
Smells amazing. You can really taste and smell the heat on the chilies. We're in Vegas, but it smells like Thailand. Now we're gonna add our Thai vegetables, bean sprouts, carrots, a little bit of celery, and some green scallions.
Just a quick saute, and Eric's ready to plate. A layer of spinach chips gets a slathering of house-made queso.
It coats the chips very well. It gives you that ooey-gooeyness that you want, and there's never a dry chip.
Chicken and Thai veggies post up in that creamy queso. Then Eric doubles down, adding a second layer of everything. Toasted peanuts and sesame seeds sneak in before the close, and let it ride.
Nacho Daddy Thai chicken nachos, definitely a nacho feast.
Kind of like a stir fry on a nacho. I've never had anything like this.
It literally tastes just like pad thai, but in nacho form.
The peanuts accentuate the chicken taste, and the chili sauce makes it sweet, and the peppers make it kind of spicy. And then I really like the chips because they're green, and it kind of looks like a salad a little bit, and so you don't feel so guilty about it.
Oh my God, the crunch. I love the texture. The chicken is really juicy.
Whether you're shooting tequila or shooting craps, odds are you'll leave Nacho Daddy totally flush.
If you're losing at the tables, you come here and it's comfort food.
There's more to dine on in the Back Bay of Boston than delicacies from the deep. For some casual chaos with a side of nacho nibbling, Anchovies Food and Spirits can do.
Anchovies definitely isn't your typical white tablecloth kind of restaurant. It's loud, it's energetic, everyone's having fun, and everyone's partying together.
It's a melting pot of the whole neighborhood. I mean, it doesn't have a big bright sign, but once you find it, you just come every day.
At first glance, drinking might seem like the primary purpose here, but there's a reason the kitchen's open till 2 a.m. 7 days a week.
It's like really hearty, good Italian food, and you would not expect that out of this place, which is cool.
Chef Mark O'Brien keeps the unexpected flavors alive at this South End institution.
So much of Boston has changed over the years, and anchovies hasn't. We keep doing what we've been doing. We do the staples, and then we add our own twist.
Let's try their super popular, super meaty Italian nachos.
The Italian nachos are tortilla chips baked with mozzarella and ricotta. We pour our homemade beef ragu and some cherry peppers on top.
Mark's beef ragu starts with some simple seasoning on short ribs.
Just a little salt and pepper to really bring out the flavor of the meat. And we're just gonna sear the outside. We get every side, we lock in all the juices, all the flavors, so they can't escape and they go right into the ragu.
On your mark, get set, ragu.
We're gonna heat up some oil in the pan, soften our vegetables up nice. Start with some onions and garlic, and some celery, carrots.
Along with bay leaves, thyme, and Italian oregano.
I've got the oreganos coming off. There's nothing like the smell of cooked onions, the smell of thyme, and of course, garlic. Take the seared beef, put it right in with the soft veggies, and next we're gonna add the tomatoes. It wouldn't be a true Italian dish if we didn't add some red wine.
That short rib will braise for 3.5 hours, transforming into a true ragu.
The beef is all broken up and shredded in there. Let's give it a taste. Any Italian grandmother would be proud.
Crisp tortilla chips are still the baseline, but the cheese has a distinct Italian accent. First, loads of mozzarella, then a creamy surprise.
Traditional nachos have the sour cream. Instead of the sour cream, we use the ricotta.
Sounds like a dairy upgrade. What's next?
Now we're gonna add the ragu. We have the ragu instead of the chili. You can never have too much ragu. Everybody loves the ragu here.
Traditional pico is replaced by diced hot cherry peppers and ciao bella.
A real spaghetti western, more than a fistful of nachos.
The beef ragu in the center, that's where you start and you work your way back. You get everything you need in the ricotta.
They're loaded, unbelievable, super flavorful, and has hots in there, so really good.
Cherry peppers, fantastic. It's like just the right amount of spice. The ricotta is creamy and delicious. The short rib pulls apart, melts in your mouth, and with everything else that comes with it, it's heaven in a bite.
So when you take that first bite, you get crunch, but you're also eating that really good savory, kind of meaty, a little spice with the peppers. Like the perfect bite every time.
So you get the sweet from the ricotta, and then you get the tanginess from the mozzarella, and they just really pack a good punch.
And there's nothing like the wallop you get from a plate of nachos that's a little bit Mexican, a little bit Italian, and a whole lot of good.
It's like we're at a little happy Italian wedding.
You know they're gonna grow old together and die happy, for sure.
It's no surprise that down in New Orleans, the nachos come covered not just with cheese, but that little something extra special known as lagniappe.
You get a little lagniappe all the time. That's why I enjoy coming here.
This is where Mexican, Creole, Caribbean, and other island flavors come to get to know each other. Juan's Flying Burrito.
New Orleans is a port town, which allows for a lot of different cultures to intersect. We have items that would be considered pure Mexican, yet a little bit of twist with the local spices and vegetables that we have seasonally here.
You can send your mouth on a Hawaiian vacation with their Kamehameha nachos.
If you can't make it to the islands this year, it's the islands on your plate.
Chef Mark seasons 4 plump pork butts with salt, pepper, and pinto bean spice, then sears them on the flat top.
It gives it a good crust on the outside, helps keep the juices in. This is exactly what you're looking for. That's a good sear. Pork butt's got a lot of fat in it. That's where the flavor is, of course. If you don't have fat in your pork, you're wasting your time.
The pork parks itself in a giant pan with pureed garlic, spices, and a double dose of Juan salsa, green and red.
Now we're adding in that Mexican flavor. And last, the onions.
Chef Mark seals in the moisture for its low and slow 6-hour sauna. Then he teaches his salsa to do the hula.
Pineapple salsa complements the pulled pork, makes you feel like you're on a beach.
The sweetness and tanginess of the pineapple works wonders with the usual salsa suspects like red onion and lime juice.
It is pretty. It's a work of art.
He lays down a beach blanket of tortilla chips, then applies a cheesy layer of SPF cheddar jack.
It's a good melting cheese. You get that ooey gooey.
Finally, the pork is ready and shreddy.
This is exactly what it should look like. Picture perfect pulled pork.
That savory pork sings a sweet island lullaby with both pineapple and mango salsas.
It's colorful, it makes the nachos pop. It's a good contrast with the pork.
A dimension of creamy richness comes in the form of avocados and chipotle sour cream.
It has plenty heat.
As do pickled jalapenos, a little bacon just because, and
bringing the Big Island to the Big Easy.
The meat is super flavorful, and they're not skimpy on it. They just load it up.
The pork is tender. It's kind of sweet, kind of savory.
It's really just melts in your mouth along with the pineapple. The pineapple gives just a little subtle sweetness to it that brings out the flavor in the pork as well.
It comes at you with this smokiness from the bacon that you don't expect.
It pretty much just comes together just as it should to make your day a better place to be.
Hawaii may be halfway around the world, but Jamaica is just a puddle jumper away. Or you can just order Juan's jerk chicken nachos.
New Orleans is sort of informally known as the capital of the Caribbean, so it makes perfect sense that a New Orleans taqueria would incorporate Caribbean flavors like jerk into the nachos.
The jerk marinade is made from brown sugar and ginger, as well as Juan's own habanero sauce.
This is New Orleans cooking, blending in all these flavors. You have Caribbean, Mexican, Asian, all in one.
Those chicken thighs steep for 24 hours. Why 24?
36 may be too long, it might dry out, but 24 hours is perfect.
Once baked, it gets a proper chop, then the melty magic of that cheddar jack, followed by black beans and our caliente chicken.
Yeah, it's got some heat to it.
That pineapple salsa works double time on these Caribbean crunchers.
It's sweet, it goes good with the spice, pairs well together with the jerk chicken.
Bees put the yum in yaman.
Juan's jerk chicken nachos, all about that sweet heat.
They have like this balance of the spicy Caribbean jerk flavor and this richness because it's all chicken thighs and fatty and delicious.
What's nice, find everything you would expect in a nacho, but also have that extra little hit of exotic, that Caribbean like bada bing.
The sweetness of the fruit in the salsa, that's very Caribbean. And we've got a blend of all of that in one plate, and it's pretty great.
Let the flavors of the world come to you at Juan's Flying Burrito.
I'm ready for another sip of beer, and I'm ready for some more of these nachos.
Nachos are like a blank canvas, and the toppings you choose make it a kind of self-portrait. Think about it. If you're like us, you are ride or die for pie.
Doesn't matter how old you are or where you come from. Everybody loves pie.
Is that pie? Oh, that's pie.
Yeehaw! Sweet pies, savory pies, every type of pie.
That's what I call good pizza.
A cloud of yum.
Right on, mate.
Absolutely amazing.
Sometimes you need a pie-tini.
It's really any flavor you can think of, surrounded by crust.
All the feels, everything good.
It's smooth, it's silky.
Super rich. A little bit of zing.
The only limitation is your imagination when it comes to pies.
Enough chit-chat. Who wants pie?
Don't be shy.
Let's get baked.
With its fresh seafood and authentic Cubanos, Miami is a hotbed of savory flavors. Now in the colorful arts district of Wynwood, they're turning up the heat on sweets too.
The pies match the art that you see everywhere, the colors pop, the flavors pop, everything is just an art.
The hero of this fire truck to food truck to a sweet as pie brick and mortar called Fireman Derek's Bake Shop and Cafe.
Pie is a great base for milkshakes. It has fats, it has, sugar for sweeten. Different flavor of pie makes it a different flavor milkshake.
Derek's coming to your dessert.
It holds together.
Derek spreads that into a pie tin using his patented spoon and spoon method.
And now it's ready to go in the oven.
While it bakes, he makes a ganache, heatening and sweetening.
Chocolatey, smooth and chocolatey.
I was surprised when I hit the inside of the pie and it was super rich, like a fudge explosion that was hidden amongst all this marshmallow.
To have fun and to eat that local delicacy, key lime pie.
Key lime pie is special to me because it was my first love of pie. I've always loved to bake. I've been doing it since I was 15. It all started with key lime pie, and it is, to this day, still my favorite.
Everyone here is keyed up for key lime. It's Florida's official state pie.
What makes the key lime pie so great is its simplicity. Condensed milk, egg yolks, and fresh key lime juice.
He gets the milk totally yolked, then douses it with the power of sour.
Some people like it where it's really, really tart, and then other people like it where it's on the sweeter side. I think on the spectrum of tartness to sweetness, it has the perfect balance.
Into Derek's graham cracker crust it goes.
The perfect color is this off yellow looking color, and you're gonna get that because of the egg yolks.
This pie in the oven, get on like a house on fire.
Baking it off turns the pie into a custard, which is what you want. A little whipped cream and you're good to go.
Oh my God.
Tart, but a little bit sweet.
It's a very light texture, but very heavy on flavor. It feels like I'm walking through a citrus field and I'm just eating the sunshine.
I like the lightness of it. So I hate to say this, but I think this is better than my dad's key lime pie. Sorry, Dad.
This is absolutely the best key lime I've ever had. I come all the way here from New York to have it.
When you've got a burning desire for some pie yummy in Miami, it's Fireman Derek's to the rescue. This is not a drill. When you're out with friends soaking up all Seattle has to offer, the night always comes to a turning point. Hit a bar for one last drink or go to a diner for dessert. Why not do both?
Cheers.
At Pie Bar Ballard.
I just moved to Seattle and I've been exploring around, and this is one of the most unique places that I have found.
Where we go for dinner always changes, but ending up at Pie Bar is kind of assumed.
It's a standard at this point.
Two of the best things that exist in this world.
The idea came from the double-barreled brainpower of twin sisters Natalie and Alyssa Blyfus, who wanted to build a business based on their separate strengths.
She can bake, and I can make drinks, so we do both very well.
Ballard, try one of their upper crust cocktails, like the lemon meringue pie teeny.
Yes, pie teenies exist. It's a real thing, and you can only find them here at Pie Bar Ballard. So we're gonna start with fresh lemon juice. Then we're gonna take our Italian lemon liqueur.
Balanced by Spanish vanilla liqueur.
It's tart and sweet, just like a sugary lemon dessert should be.
A sturdy shake turns egg whites into fluffy meringue. And so you don't miss the sweet crunch of crust.
All this pie crumble is butter, sugar, and flour. To top it off, gotta have a little bit of fresh lemon. Lemon meringue pie teeny from Pie Bar Ballard. Have your pie and drink it too.
Literally pie in a glass.
Literally pie in a glass.
It tastes like I'm eating a lemon meringue pie.
It's smooth, it's silky. I really think they took a pie, squeezed it as hard as they could into the glass.
Best cocktail.
Best cocktail ever.
Pie Bar Ballard is a celebration of great combos, like twin sisters, pie and cocktails, and anything else?
Peanut butter jelly time.
The surf culture is totally tubular in Huntington Beach, California, where locals are learning the Australian tradition of following a good surf with a great meat pie. That's the wave of the future at Pie Knot.
There are no words that I can adequately find to represent the taste of an Australian meat pie.
Pies in Australia just go with surfing like two peas in a pod.
Either you go to the bakery before you have a surf, or you've had a big surf and you grab a pie afterwards and curb your appetite.
Lifelong surfer Jai Snowden fell into the routine of selling Aussie pies with his friend and co-owner, Ryan LaPiccolo, who spent a year living in Australia.
I taught surfing while I was there, and on the way home was a pie shop. So every day for lunch, I'd have a pie. And when I moved back here to Southern California, there's nothing like it here, and I just needed to have it.
What they did was open up at the edge of the Pacific.
It's literally across the street from the beach. You couldn't get any closer. I think we are on the beach.
And taught SoCal surfers to hang 10 with Aussie pie creations like the Drunken Cow.
The biggest thing is that they're handheld. You gotta be able to take it and take a bite out of it, and it's just the food that's on the go.
The secret to making these pies portable can be found, you guessed it, down under.
So we have a bottom crust, which is more of a pie crust, and it's a little bit more rigid. That allows us to pick our Aussie pies up, take them by hand, and take a good bite without it falling apart. Drop hot pie filling on you, not having a good day. So,
in this case, the filling is top sirloin, which Jai puts into a computerized oven for a futuristic braise.
We're going to do a bit of a 12-hour braise in about an hour. At the start, it's really high, and throughout the cooking process, it'll bring the heat down, add moisture, and really tenderize and soften our beef.
But after just 10 minutes, he pauses the process to put the tipsy in our Drunken Cow pie. That's followed by pearl onions and chopped garlic, along with a secret combo of herbs and spices.
Mix all these flavors up. This is going to go back in our oven, so these pieces of meat are going to be all nice and tender and just fall apart in the mouth.
While the beef continues cooking inside R2-D2, Jai builds a roux. And when the beef has reached maximum tenderness, the roux goes in for maximum sturdiness.
This is going to give us a nice thickening to our pie, because, you know, the whole premise of an Aussie meat pie is you don't want it to be falling apart.
The hearty beef meets the pies in very precise portions.
We definitely don't want to overfill the pie. If we overfill the pie, we're going to have an explosion.
A lighter puff pastry crust is added to the top and carefully crimped. Then it's an egg wash, a short bake.
Let's get baked.
And let's throw a little pie on the beach barbies.
Bringing the land down under to California with our Drunken Cow.
It's very crispy and golden. It sort of flakes off, while the bottom is still pretty soft to support the pieces of meat inside of it. It's really good.
So first of all, Drunken Cow in itself is a great name. Second of all, it's the concoction of all these different flavors just mixed in together. It's like a tornado of perfection.
Wow. You can taste the wine in the sauce. It adds a savory element to it. It's really good.
The crust is what's doing it for me right now. When you take it off, you just kind of get that little puff of steam out of there. Long day at the beach. This is gonna fill you up. This is the good stuff.
Even more filling is the Aussie version of a shepherd's pie, the drover.
The name came from Australia. There's shepherds, but they're not called shepherds, they're called drovers. You know, taking another little bit of a cultural spin on it.
Jai spins onions and garlic in some oil, along with an 80-20 blend of ground Angus.
Nice to meet you, onions.
Worcestershire, fortified with tomato paste, followed by the secret blend of seasonings and a slurry of cornstarch for extra body, enters next. What's the verdict?
Oh, right on, mate.
Traditional veggies join the party.
A nice balance of peas and carrots. We definitely want those a little bit fresh and a little bit poppy in the mouth.
And once again, it's pie tins and portions, but the top crust is replaced with a savory snowstorm of garlic Parmesan mashed potatoes. Just 10 minutes to brown, and all hail the Good Shepherd.
Piping hot drovers for our pie hard fans.
It's really good. It's warm. I like the potatoes. It's like a little thing of heaven on top.
It's really good.
Yeah.
The potatoes are super fluffy.
It's a more efficient burger almost. Just all the ingredients are mixed in there, and the crust is really amazing.
It's got all you want. It's got creamy potatoes. You've got some orange, carrots, and then some lovely little tender meat inside. It's delicious.
Damn, that was the best Australian accent I've heard. Usually everyone does English. That was perfect.
Except no imitations, just authentic down-home cooking from Down Under Cooking.
Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi.
Oh, tastes good, y'all.
The pie's the limit in Houston, Texas, where you can get both a traditional slice or something from way outside the crust at Three Brothers Bakery.
Anything they cook here, I love it. Woo, that is good.
But I've been coming to this bakery for almost 50 years. That's a family tradition. Whenever my mother used to have parties and she'd go to Three Brothers Bakery for desserts, she'd tell her friends, oh, my three brothers and I made this.
The Three Brothers are actually Bobby Jucker's father and uncles, who brought their Polish Bubby's recipes to Texas in the 1940s.
I am the 5th generation baker in my family. I actually grew up here at the bakery, so for me, I really started to learn when I was about 12, 13.
Back when he was learning the basics of bread making, Bobby never dreamt he'd make something so big as the turducken of desserts, the Pumpacapple.
So the Pumpacapple is 3 pies baked in 3 cakes. If you can get it all in your mouth at one time, it's pretty much an explosion of cream cheese and caramel and nuts and pie and cake all together.
You heard him, 3 pies and 3 cakes together, because Texas, which is also why pie number 1 is pecan.
This is the pie that put us on the map. Pecan pie is really popular in Texas because it just tastes good. And we like stuff that tastes good.
Sugar, eggs, and vanilla help form that glorious goo that rests between nuts and crust.
Now we're gonna add the corn syrup.
A double dose of dark and light.
The light just makes the color a little bit lighter. It's just a slight difference as far as taste.
The sauce sits while Bobby goes nuts on the pie shell.
They don't get coated if you put the pecans in at the same time. You want them to get coated, otherwise you get these dry-looking spots.
From a Texas classic to an American institution.
You know, you can't make a Pumpacapple without having America's favorite apple pie.
Multi-dessert mingling starts with a coat of cake crumbs on the crust.
So the cake crumbs that we use actually help the apples from getting the crust soggy. You really don't need a lot of crumbs.
Sweet and cinnamony apples cover the crumbs, then he lays down a lattice on top of that.
Last one, we're getting ready to take this to the oven.
Pumpkin pie joins his brothers for a bake and a cool down as Bobby moves on to the cake batters.
We're gonna pour some of the batter into the pan.
Perfect pairing number 1, apple spice cake with our apple pie.
We're gonna take this apple pie and put it inside of the pan.
The whole pie inside the cake.
You get the crunchiness of the pie and the softness of the cake, and the two just make you go crazy. Now we're ready to pour the rest of the batter.
The pecan is paired with creamy chocolate cake.
We gotta get every last drop.
Pumpkin pie merges with pumpkin spice cake, and 3 are about to become 1.
So let's get our hard hats on and get this thing constructed. How beautiful is that? Now what I've got to do is I got to straighten this. No one wants a leaning tower of Pumpacapple. Oh, what's that? Oh, just a little off the top? Okay, you got it.
The sweet binding polymer between our 3 pie cakes, cream cheese icing.
We tried a few different icings before we decided with this icing, and it just kind of complemented everything. You just can't have any more fun than this.
But you can have more pecans and 1 final sweet drizzle.
It's time for the crowning glory. Caramel on the edge, running down the side, and just drizzled all over the top.
And this 30-pound pie cake is ready for all 80 of your closest friends.
You can eat your cake and have your pie too. The Pumpacapple.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
Wow. Where's your piece? Always good.
This is so decadent. You know, you can get so many different flavors depending on what combinations you have on your fork.
If we had Thanksgiving every day, this is what I would have. You get everything you like in one pie cake.
The moistness of the apple with the spiciness of the cake is really good.
And this pumpkin spice is absolutely amazing.
I love the chocolate and pecan. It's an excellent combination. It's really rich.
I love that chocolate. It's just good. And in between all that, I like the little crunch, scrumptious.
The frosting is fabulous. It ramps up the sweet level, which is fine by me.
Why have one dessert from a One Brother bakery when you can get 3 from 3?
It doesn't get any better than this. I mean, if I died today, my life would be complete.
Down-home flavors, family recipes, and cooking from scratch are getting lots of love in Los Angeles, where Becky the Pie Mom reigns supreme. She's the mother of all pies at the Pie Hole.
It was my dream to open a pie shop even when my kids were little. Pie is love. It was love at my house. It was the gathering of the ingredients and the feelings that we had doing it together.
It may have seemed pie in the sky at the time, but when her son Matt grew up, he and his wife Lindsay thought everyone should enjoy Becky's spectacular pies.
What's so beautiful about my husband is that he just really wanted to make his mom's dream come true.
Now, sharing it with LA, I get that same warm, fuzzy feeling that I got when I baked with my children.
Everything's made from scratch. You can taste the difference.
Open your pie hole for the carbs on carbs inspiration of mac and cheese pot pie.
Pie is supposed to make you happy. That's what we go for.
Chef Sarah goes for super salty water and calls in macaroni, which she slightly undercooks.
Because this bakes again once you put it into pot pie crust.
Mac, check. Cheese, please, starting with melted butter.
We're caramelizing onions, and that's low and slow.
The onions reach maximum sweetness, then it's California creamin'. And mustard is a must.
It has a little Dijon in it for a little bit of tang, a little bit of zing to it.
She stirs in love and nostalgia.
Mac and cheese reminds me of my family reunions. I have a lot of Southern relatives, and mac and cheese features pretty heavily.
That's what America's all about. Speaking of which...
So American cheese has a very low melt point.
Then she gives it some edge with a little sharp cheddar.
Nice and mixed, no dry spots. Every noodle's got some cheese on it.
Let's just eat this and call it a day.
But we're a pie shop, so this is going to go into a savory pot pie.
Oh! She gets it in the tin impressively.
Egg wash around the edges so that it forms a good seal. If it's not sealed well, it will just explode everywhere.
The mac and cheese is so rich and creamy that Sarah uses an ice cream scoop to soft serve it up. More dough to tuck it all in, and then the edges get a trim.
Pie-hole.
Some buttered crumbs kissed with parsley and garlic. The love bakes right in. Then Sarah pops them out, because these pies are served naked.
That's a mac attack.
It's flaky and it's about to mix into all the cheesy flavors.
And I love this crust topping here. You can see all the different herbs on top. And this gives it that added flavor like it was baked with the crust.
It's salty, it's savory, it's got this crunchy texture to it, which blends in really nicely with the soft mac and cheese.
Perfectly cooked pasta and loads of cheese.
So velvety, it's smooth, and I love the texture of the little tube noodles. Every tube's filled with cheese.
I love that it's in pie form, of course. I can get both of my favorite comfort foods, and I know every time I come here, it's gonna be super good.
Downtown LA goes Downton Abbey with Pie Hole's perfectly proper Earl Grey tea pie.
Imagine drinking a cup of tea, pinky out with your biscuit. That's what the flavor's going to be.
Instead of taking her tea with cream, Sarah takes her cream with tea. Lots of tea. Tea-rific. She steps up the steep with a squeeze and a stir.
Pie is worth the whisk.
Pour over white chocolate, mix until melted, and we got ganache. Chocolate takes the tea and biscuit flavor from pinky out to thumbs up. When it's cool, Sarah folds in fresh whipped cream to make it a mousse.
The tricky part about mousse is they can go flat if you fold them too much.
Sarah keeps it fluffy and lets it cool. Then she teas up a dark chocolate ganache.
Dark chocolate offsets the really, really sweet white chocolate.
The creamy chocolate gets layered onto the bottom of Pie Hole's rich rustic crust.
A little sea salt just cuts the sweetness of the chocolate, accentuating it a little bit.
Toasted pistachios add a flavorful crunch. Then a thick layer of Earl Grey white chocolate mousse, topped with whipped cream and pistachio crown jewels.
And that's the Earl Grey, only at Pie Hole.
It has the Earl Grey flavor, and the whipped cream is so fresh.
It's got that nice velvety texture that goes perfect with that cream. The pistachios add a nice little crunch on top.
I like the texture, and the whipped cream is light and heavenly like a cloud. So you get this like crunchy, soft thing, and it's a good marriage of texture and flavor. It's wonderful.
It's as sweet as you.
Oh.
It's down-home family goodness in downtown LA at the Pie Hole. A sweet dream that came true.
Happiness one slice at a time.
In the South, even the tea is as sweet as pie. But in the South Texas town of McAllen, they're going all in for savory and savory sweet combos at PJ Pies.
Pie is best in Texas.
Chef Brian Anthony isn't afraid to pie outside the lines.
We offer some of the basics, but we're gonna have pies that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Something like our blueberry basil and goat cheese or our bourbon chocolate pecan. Something that you won't find everywhere. The only person to get this much flavor in a single bite is Willy Wonka.
He's always been a guy who lives a life of pie.
My whole life I appreciated like pie before I would want a cake for parties or events. I'm a savory and sweet guy, and I always like the elements of balance of flavors.
His combining of flavors goes to the extreme with a whole turkey dinner baked in a pie. Give thanks for the gobbler.
It's like Thanksgiving dinner all in one plate. You're gonna get a ton of flavor from everything, and it all goes really well together.
Savory pie needs a savory crust.
The difference between the savory dough and the sweet dough is the spices that are gonna go into the dough.
He customizes it with flour powered by tons of butter. The dough chills while Brian cuts to the filling.
We're gonna go ahead and put in our mirepoix, which is gonna be celery, carrots, and onions.
Veggies get sauteed with butter, garlic, and spices, then a sprinkle of flour and a shot of Auntie's holiday fuel.
Aunt B's coming over, gotta have the white wine.
He stocks up, then half and half is a have to have.
We're gonna let this cook down until it thickens up.
And it's Turkey Day. How badly do I want to eat this? 2 words.
Gobble, gobble.
But wait a hot minute.
We don't want to put it into the dough hot. It'll melt the butter in the dough, and we won't get as crispy of a crust.
Brian bangs out the dough till it has a circumference to diameter ratio of approximately 3.14. Now, do the math on that festive filling. Then he lowers the lid.
This is gonna seal it all together, keep all that flavor locked in there, and also does look really nice when we take it out of the oven.
While we wait, Brian breaks down the remaining essentials of the harvest feast.
It wouldn't be Thanksgiving without your favorite pair of sweatpants, a good old family fight, and stuffing.
Now that's the stuff.
I like a classic stuffing.
And here that means celery, onions, and chicken stock, along with apples and cranberries, are all the dream that stuffings are made of.
It's time to build Thanksgiving dinner.
Pile it on. Warm stuffing, pie full of turkey, mashed potatoes, rich gravy, and of course, the cranberry sauce.
You're tasting like the turkey and the mashed potato, and then it's like the biscuit at the end with the crust. Mix it all together and it's right there.
Thanksgiving in a pie.
Flaky. I don't know what he does. I'm sure it has something to do with a lot of butter. And the piece de resistance is the stuffing all the way around it.
The turkey is just perfectly proportioned all the way through. Cranberry makes it pop. It adds a little bit of tart to the whole savory portion.
Goodness in every last bite.
What Thanksgiving dinner is complete without some pie for dessert? Something beyond the usual pumpkin, like PJ's blueberry, goat cheese, and basil pie. You gotta have fresh plump blueberries, along with soft, salty goat cheese and finely chopped basil.
Basil has a nice fragrance to it. You don't really taste it, you're gonna more smell it. We wanna go ahead and just get this goat cheese spread out a little bit.
He gets it sweetened and thickened and ready for the crust.
This time we're using our sweet pie dough. We're gonna add some cinnamon and sugar into this pie shell when we're making it.
Instead of a top crust, Brian makes a yummy crumble topping with brown sugar and lots of almonds.
So the almond kind of brings that sweetness level down just a little bit. This crumble really is coming together. It's time to put this on the pie.
He bakes and cools it, and with a scoop of vanilla, makes it pie a la mode.
Blueberry basil goat cheese a la awesome.
The goat cheese is really subtle. It has a decadent, rich feel to it. It has some creamy, delicious, fresh blueberries, nice crunch of almonds on top.
It's a really delicious buttery crust, flaky, sweet, very fresh.
You get like chunks of blueberry, and then you can taste the goat cheese. I would have never thought to put the two together, but I really like the crumbling of the crust that's on top. It adds a crunch to it.
Wow, the blueberries are perfect. They're like fresh and they pop in your mouth.
That's why PJ's is the place when McAllen craves pie. It's where variety is the pie of life.
I'd offer you some, but it's all mine.
Don't mess with a Texan when it comes to pie.
Doesn't matter how old you are or where you come from, everybody loves pie.
But outside of Austin, in Round Rock, they're dishing up a different take on the delicacy.
There's so many pies out there, but when it comes to Texas, it's Fritos pie.
You won't find Fritos pie in a bakery. This specialty is made for sports bars, like Cover 3.
Cover 3 is a zone defense for football. You cover 3 zones of the field, and we cover dining, spirits, and sports.
You can watch football, but you don't have to love football to love the food.
Whether football is your fantasy or not, don't pass up the option for Fritos pie.
Fritos pie is a Texas favorite for sure. Just a good, hearty dish, especially in the cold season.
That's because in lieu of fruit, this pie is packed with chili, and plenty of it.
It's one of your just traditional Texas red chilies. This isn't your truck stop chili. This is a white tablecloth kind of chili, but it's real good and real hearty.
Chef Dave sends packaged spices to the sidelines and sends in the big guns: dried guajillos, pasillas, and chipotles.
You're gonna get a little sweet, you're gonna get a little savory.
The peppers simmer in water and beef base before blending.
They're looking good, pureed perfectly. Time to start with the braising of the beef.
Bacon grease greases the way for garlic and onions.
We're gonna let the onions sweat for a second, get some of that sweetness out of them before we brown the chuck.
No ground round here. Chef Dave browns massive chunks of meaty chuck, 20 pounds of it. The ground beef gets doused with our chili puree and a little unexpected pick-me-up.
Well, we also like to add some coffee to this one. The coffee just kind of brings out a nice, just mellow flavor.
The chili's simmering, but what about some queso? Chef Dave is on the case.
Texans love queso.
The cheesy blitz begins with water and half, spiced with salt, garlic powder, and white pepper.
And then, of course, being in Texas, we're gonna do 20 pounds of American cheese. Yes, 20 pounds.
And how many servings is that?
This is a single order. Just when you thought we were done, more cheese.
The queso's complete, but every pie needs a good crust.
Let's start with our Fritos. Want to get a nice heaping of those. Then we're gonna go on to our chili. Again, we're in Texas, so you might as well go big.
That includes the cheese too, which is a triple team of Jack and cheddar.
Then we're gonna move right over to our queso. Nice and gooey. Get that right all over the top there. Do a little bit of cilantro.
A little extra spice for safety.
America's favorite, Fritos pie.
I think it's all the layers of all the deliciousness that just makes it into one big pie.
Like the chips is your crust, it's crunchy, and then you have your fillings, your meat, and then you have toppings, that's like your decoration.
I've never had chili with big old chunks of beef like this. Growing up, my mom used chili from a can, so this is much better than that.
I think the Fritos actually enhance the chili, give it a crunch, and the queso gives a nice little creaminess.
The Fritos are awesome, the chili is amazing, but the queso is so good. There's no such thing as too much cheese.
If you don't love queso, you're not from Texas.
And it's salty, It's delicious, good for a hangover.
And this is real Texas chili also. Not a bunch of beans getting in the way of a perfectly good chili.
Beans.
Okay, well, settle down.
So drop your defenses and flood the pie zone at cover 3.
Done, dude.
Big town food is what Chicago does best. And when it comes to pizza pies, the second city has one spot that's earned first place.
That's like Chicago on a platter right there.
Pie equals party.
What's got them all pie-eyed is a pizza palace that's both old school and next level. La Briola Ristorante.
This is my #1 place that I go. Always my favorite.
Owner Richard Labriola carries on the family business of making and perfecting pizza pies.
My dad had a pizza restaurant. My dad would teach us how to make pizza, and then he'd come back around and he'd always correct us. So my mission in life at that age was to make a pizza that he couldn't correct.
He's got infinite reasons why these pies are his passion.
You have crust, you have filling, and it's hot. What's not to love?
Absolutely nothing. And the love shines through in the deep dish tribute to his dad, Danny's Special. Rich has been making bread for years as well, so he brings the skills of baking to his pizza pie making.
Our dough is really light and flavorful. It's almost like a focaccia dough.
The pan looks like it could tell some stories.
This is a pan that we've obviously used for a few years. Seasoning on the pan is what makes it special.
That comes from years of moisturizing, Italian style.
We brush the pan with the olive oil, coat it really good, use the rest a little bit on top of the dough.
To prevent sogginess, Richard sauce-proofs the crust with a dusting of delicious.
We add a little bit of aged provolone.
Then a flotilla of mozzarella.
Go right up to the edge with the cheese.
Now comes the heavy construction.
We love big buildings in Chicago, and it's time to pile this thing high.
Plum tomato sauce gets a serious mishandling.
Here's where you get to play with your food a little bit. Next comes our sausage. We put it right on top. It gets a nice caramelization.
That sausage goes on raw and cooks down in the oven, Chicago style.
Mushrooms, red onion. Next is green pepper. It's almost as high as the Willis Tower. A little bit of oregano, and you can never have enough pecorino romano.
Into the gentle warmth of a 535-degree stone deck oven, and soon it's a Michigan Avenue masterpiece.
Danny's Special deep dish. This is how we do pie in Chi-Town.
What?
Whoa.
So excited.
Nice, thank you, man.
Thank you.
The sausage is awesome. The cheese oozing, the crust is everything to me.
That's good. That's what I call good pizza.
That was awesome. The tomatoes pop. The tomatoes are full of flavor. It's not just a sauce, it's chunks of tomatoes.
The vegetables just add a little extra.
Yeah, it's got, everything. The right amount of cheese, right amount of sauce, all the feels, yes. Everything good.
Let's eat some pizza. Boom, boom, boom.
Next time you blow through Chicago, throw your taste buds for a loop at La Briola Ristorante.
This is definitely the Chicago pie.
This is definitely Chicago pie.
Here's to all the brave men and women who roll out the dough, pipe in the filling, and crumble the topping every day. Semper Pi.
I'm pigging out.
Whether it's a triple-wide Cajun country pork chop.
This is like the Godzilla of pork chops right here.
Oh my God.
A sky-high stack of piggy perfection.
I gotta roll up my sleeves for this.
Or the superstardom of bacon's pudgy brother, pork belly.
Pork on pork action right here.
The versatility of pork is loved by diners and chefs.
It's rich, it's bold, it's intense. It can be crunchy, it can be savory.
It's chocolate and bacon. Who can resist that? Not me.
Who doesn't love pork?
Sizzling is music to my ears.
The possibilities of pork are endless.
There's almost too much pork to fit on a fork.
There's no such thing as too much pork.
All hail to the swine.
Tonight, we swine and dine. You know a swine-centered celebration in New Orleans has got to be something special. And for generations, pork perfection has been the heritage of the Toops family.
My family lives to eat, not the other way around. And the best way to get the good food is to cook it ourselves.
Chef Isaac has been cooking it himself since he was a kid. and crafted his own cuisine called Contemporary Cajun.
It's old school, it's new school, it's Cajun, it's in the now, it's New Orleans.
But mostly, it's mega amounts of meat that Chef Isaac serves at his shrine to all things swine, Toop's Meatery.
If I don't eat meat at a meal, it's not a meal. Pork offers versatility. It's rich, it's bold, it's intense. It can be crunchy, it can be savory.
Isaac's favorite way to serve, the Boku how do you do of the triple cut pork chop.
It's big, it's badass, it's bold. The flavors are intense.
But first, a Saturday night brine bath for our Berkshire beauty.
The brine is gonna act like a carrier. It's gonna carry the salt, the sugar, the peppercorn, the bay leaf, and then some good old beer up in there. All hail to the swine. We're gonna leave that guy in there for 24 hours.
While the swine brines, Isaac shares the secret to a Toop's family favorite.
We're gonna make my grandmother Cart's dirty rice. This is kind of the collab of the two Cajun grandmother dishes. So it's my grandmother Cart's dish, but this is the way my grandmother Toop's made her roux. Put our grapeseed oil in an already hot pan.
This is a roux that knows you got other things to do besides stand and stir.
Stir in about equal parts of flour, and we're gonna stir rapidly, because I like to go quick, because I got stuff to do.
The Toop's dirty rice gets its power from the dark side.
Color right there. I would say that's kind of dark chocolatey goodness. It's exactly where I like it. When I smell this, I'm back a Cajun boy, eating gumbo, walking into my mom's house after a duck hunt.
A little brew finishes it off before the browning of that chopped Wagyu.
We're gonna actually take these crispy bits and make sure they're all seared like steak. So we got 1,000 little pieces of seared steak in there.
Followed by a New Orleans necessity.
We got the Holy Trinity right here. Onion, bell pepper, and celery, but you can't forget about the Pope, and that's garlic. If you don't have the Trinity in New Orleans, is it really Southern cooking?
Chicken stock and our rich roux communes with white rice.
And a healthy pat of butter. We weren't running out of butter in my grandmother's kitchen, let's just say that.
Now that our pork is plumped up, it gets a pre-sear salt and pepper.
Look at this thing. So beautiful, I'd give it a kiss.
Chef finishes it off in the oven, then piles it high over the double gammy dirty rice.
Now it just needs one more thing. This is a little cane vinegar gastrique. Now, cane vinegar gastrique is just a simple kind of fancy term for vinegar and sugar mixed together. And green onions are not just a garnish. I want that fresh, oniony bite.
Yeah, this is like the Godzilla of pork chops right here.
It's fabulous. It's brilliantly moist and smooth on the inside, but on the outside there's a phenomenal char that is epic.
On a juicy scale, I'd put it at 11.
This really is the best pork chop in the city, hands down.
Toop's is all for intermeat mingling. That's why they use a pork-beef blend in their transcendent Toop's burger.
What's special about the meat here is that I've omitted the beef fat that we get from the Wagyu chuck roll and added pork fat in the form of pork belly. Pork fat is much richer and luxurious than beef fat.
Chef Isaac forms the patties using the divot directive.
You're gonna create negative space using your thumb, pressing nice and gently. When your burger cooks, the space will actually even out. And instead of a football, you'll have a burger. I got a little Aleppo pepper, the little Syrian smoked sweet pepper. I got a little chili de arbol, and we got good old-fashioned toasted ground black pepper.
And when that seasoned burger hits the grill,
now you have a perfect crust on the entire thing.
For the cheese, he gets cheddar shreds, not slices. Seems like it gets meltier that way.
This is our house-made bacon. Put that right on top. Now, almost as important as everything else, we got our squash pickle. My father taught me how to make these way back in the day. You need a bite of pickle for every bite of burger, because the acid and the balance of the sweetness is gonna help cut all that fat.
Onion roll at the ready, Creole mustard aioli will add just the right sour notes.
Put it right on the burger bun.
Double pork violation, I love it. So juicy, a little bit of smoke, a little bit of salt, perfect burger.
You have pork in the burger, pork on top of the burger, Creole mayonnaise with it. It has a little heat to it, and then it's his own homemade pickles that, it adds that sweet and sour.
It gives me a little bit of snap, it adds some texture to the burger.
I mean, it's hog central.
In the Big Easy, Toop's Meatery is all about letting the good swine roll.
It's wonderful.
Big paradise.
The pork chop-friendly confines of suburban Cleveland might seem a long way away from a Texas smoker, but in Mayfield, Ohio, they're in a Lone Star state of mind about barbecue.
There's the smoked barbecue we're not used to here in Cleveland. It's delicious.
To pull off pulled pork like this, you gotta know a thing or two about smoking some Q. And at Smokin' Q's, they do.
I'm from Texas, and barbecue down there, it's innate. It's like you're born with it. And when I moved up here to Ohio, it was just something that I knew I wanted to bring here, and I knew people would love it.
Leave it to Cleveland to embrace Smokin' Q's Texas barbecue wholeheartedly.
I don't need to go to Texas. It's right here on my plate.
And Zach gives the love right back.
I think barbecue makes people happy, and I think our customers do too.
If barbecue makes you happy, this will get you totally blissed out. The enormous pulled pork sandwich they call the sporcaccione.
Paying homage to my mother-in-law, who used to call me that, and I thought it was a term of endearment, but it actually means a dirty little pig.
The dirty little pig starts with a fresh big pig, but a good old Texas dry rub gets this Ohio pork shoulder down home dirty.
The salt is going to be the base of basically any barbecue rub.
Zach's got a red thumb when it comes to spice skills, going heavy on paprika and chipotle, then a few more basics, and is that cinnamon? Nice! A little mix-up, and then a complete cover-up.
It's a big piece of meat, and it can definitely take a lot of flavor.
He rubs shoulders until he achieves total pigmentation.
Smells like home. All right, pork is all rubbed down. Let's get to the smoker.
It'll be 18 hours before we see it again, but it comes back a smoky, tangy, juicy meatster piece of epic pork portions.
It's got that wonderful bark on the outside that you really want, so you get that textural contrast, that like crunchy, charry goodness, and that moist, fatty interior.
And it stays that way. Zach doesn't pull the pork apart until it's going straight onto the sandwich.
Now we'll sauce it up. It's our house-made Texas-style barbecue sauce. Just gonna get this mixed up, try to keep it together as much as we can, and here we go.
Onto a toasted bun goes more Texas barbecue sauce. And because you can never have too much pork, this little piggy brought a friend.
House-made sausage, which is sort of a fusion between a hot Italian sausage and a jalapeno sausage. You have that juiciness and you have that right texture.
With pulled pork piled high onto pork sausage, Chef tops it with some cool crunch.
Cabbage slaw, and some of our house-made pickles.
Saddle up, Buckeyes. We're riding high on the hog.
Central Texas taste in a Midwestern state.
This thing's bigger than my face.
You're never gonna fit that in your mouth.
I have a big mouth. There's two different types of pork. So there's the sausage that has a little snap to it, and the pork is just very tender and juicy. It's like two little pigs dancing on my tongue.
Little sweet, little tart, decadent, just the right amount of sauce.
Really smoky, moist pork. Sportaccione. Swataccione, however you say it, it is a dirty little pig.
Texas, look out. Ohio barbecue's coming at you.
What's Tex in the middle and Mex on both ends? It's Smokin' Q's PB&J tacos.
Pork belly is fat, it's salt, and it's sugar. It's everything that our bodies crave.
The belly gets down with that same Texas rub.
It's a thinner piece of meat, so it doesn't take as much to penetrate, but you still want to get good coverage all over the entire thing.
While the PB smokes, Zach makes the J.
So the jam definitely adds sweetness, it adds acidity with the vinegar, and then it obviously is going to add some spice.
Because peppers.
We also need the peppers for the natural fruit pectin that's in them that gives the jam its thickness. So we're sort of cutting the jalapenos with poblanos.
Literally. Apple cider vinegar and sugar join in for a quick spin. While the jam cooks down, Zach gets back to the belly.
The pork belly's out of the smoker, and now it's ready to cut up. And for that, we need our special tool, the machete.
He cuts cubes and gets them full of sauce and vinegar. Then they fry into bite-sized blocks of porky perfection. Okay, tortillas, please.
They're half corn, half flour, so that we get that corn tortilla flavor, but that flour tortilla texture that we all love.
Our tacos got guac, enchanted pork cubes, slaw, pico, jalapeno jam, and a pinch of pickled peppers on top.
PB&J tacos.
Oh my God. It's so like tender, it's so juicy. It has like a kick, but it's like the perfect amount.
It's so soft and literally it melts in your mouth. You get the savory of the pork, that jam. It's spicy, but adds a sweetness to it as well.
It makes a good bacon, but it makes an even better taco.
To pork out on Texas barbecue in Ohio? See you on the reg at Smokin' Q's. Famously called the hog butcher to the world, Chicago is a city that knows how to swine and dine. Which is why the sandwich king, Jeff Morrow, chose it for his oasis of oink, Pork and Mindy's.
It's the most gratifying, I think, of all the meats because it is so versatile. The possibilities of pork are endless.
Pork and Mindy's started out as a barbecue competition team in 2005, and it was one of those fun things I did with my buddies on the weekends.
When that weekend passion hooked up with Jeff's sandwich sensibilities, everything clicked.
Order up chicken fried pork. Chicago's a sandwich town because we've invented some of the greatest sandwiches in the world. Italian beef sandwich. We perfected the hot dog, which indeed is a sandwich. You can argue with me all day on that.
Hey, no arguments here. Pork and Mindy's is aiming to add another classic to the Chicago Sandwich Hall of Fame with this triple pork attack, the 3 Big Piggies.
When people first saw this sandwich, when we served it, they actually literally got sucked into it.
I don't even know how everything can stay on there. I mean...
Because it has its own gravitational pull. It's a dwarf planet.
The first layer of flavor is smoky pulled pork shoulder.
Our rub has got about 18 ingredients in it. It creates this complex crust that when it comes out of the smoker, not only do you have the salty and the sweetness, but you got like, oh, there's some garlic in there, there's some oregano.
With every crevice coated, the pork spices out for 24 hours before it meets the smoke.
I got hickory wood in there, and it's set at 225. That is the sweet spot for all slow smoked meats. This is my favorite part of the day, when you get hit in the face and remind you what you do for a living.
During its aromatic smoke, the hardest part is not constantly checking on it.
If you're looking, you ain't cooking. Remember, keep it in there. We got it down to a science.
Maybe we can sneak a peek at pork layer number 2, the pig candy.
Can't be too thin, can't be too thick. Too thick, it's not gonna get crispy. Too thin, it's gonna get too brittle and break apart. So this is like the Goldilocks zone of thickness.
He covers both sides with brown sugar. That also spends a scientifically determined amount of time in the smoker, while Jeff creates the last layer, a chicken fried pork chop.
A little secret that we do here that I'm gonna let you in on, we take that buttermilk and egg and we put ever so slight amount into the seasoned flour. What this is gonna do is create those craggly little bits that stick to the pork and make it double, if not triple crunchy.
After a buttermilk dredge, the chops dive into the deep fryer, along with another Chicago staple, giardiniera, which also gets breaded.
You're not only gonna get that crispy element, but you're gonna get that pop of spice and vinegar.
Finally, the shoulder emerges from the smoker.
Oh, beautiful dark bark on there.
Jeff starts stacking it all on a buttered brioche bun.
It takes almost an engineering degree to build this. There's so many components. We got our famous barbecue rub mayo here, giardiniera. This 3 Big Piggies is ready to be wolfed down.
Good God, that's a big sandwich.
Is this a one-person sandwich?
I gotta roll up my sleeves for this. That pork is super juicy.
It's a triathlon sandwich. I mean, you got the moist pork cutlet, followed by the smokiness of the pulled pork in there, and then the sweet, salty bacon on top. It's perfect.
That pig candy, oh man. It's just crunchy enough, but still has all that moist flavor in it. Like, I've never had a sandwich like this before.
This is probably one of the best sandwiches I've had in my entire life.
Pork and Mindy's is all about getting creative with barbecue. And their pulled pork is just the opening number for this next sandwich, Bow to the Pork.
People love it. We were voted #1 sandwich last year.
Everything around this stellar smoked pork has to stand out, starting with the pickled daikon and carrots.
It's traditional on a lot of Asian sandwiches, but also it cuts through all that richness in that beautiful smoked meat.
The bao bun is a burger-sized take on the Chinese favorite.
Beautiful, squishy, pillowy. It's like taking a bite of a cumulus cloud.
He fills that cloud with pulled pork.
This is our Asian plum barbecue sauce. Kind of reminds you of that Chinese food favorite, sweet and sour pork.
The pickled daikon slaw is joined on top by a fresh cucumber and jalapeno relish.
My royal subjects, it's time to bow to the pork.
It's like a pillow. It's very soft.
I just bit into some goodness, let me tell you. The crispy of the carrots, the tangy of the sauce, the pork is so tender, it's so yummy. I'm gonna go in again.
It's outstanding. The sauce complements the sandwich very well.
Bow to the pork.
For out-of-this-world hog, strap on your favorite rainbow suspenders and head to Pork and Mindy's.
That hit the spot.
Bacon, bacon, and more bacon. It's easy to pig out in Las Vegas, but for pork centricity that goes beyond the little bacon strips on the strip, those in the know go to truffles and bacon.
Bacon's just a universal language.
If I want a bacon dish, it's truffles and bacon all the way.
Childhood friends Magnolia and Jackie grew up in the Philippines, lost touch, then ran into each other in America decades later.
It wasn't the elevator.
It's Kismet, I think.
They joined forces and brought that good luck to Las Vegas.
Vegas is so prime for a new food scene, and Jackie, she can cook.
I will cook what I want to eat. I grew up on pork, so what can I say?
Here, even the sweetest of pork can go totally hog wild. And that's how you get the hot beast.
For some burger purists, they would be calling this an abomination. So, hey, I like abominations.
This abominable beast starts as a wee tot, or in this case, lots of tots, fried to a crispy crunch.
To the star of the show, pork belly. I have a love affair with the pork. Put a little bit of bacon dripping. Bacon dripping just gives a nice flavor.
Pork belly forms the belly of this burger beast, and Jackie gets that bacon shaken with hot serranos and cool tomatoes.
Then we pour in our potato tots.
Can anything make this dance party more twisted?
Hot cheese curls.
Now you're cooking with snack food.
Little texture, a little crunch. It adds more heat because, after all, it's called the hot beast.
With a blanket of cheese, the beast hibernates in the oven, and then hot ham. Is that a burger?
And this is Vegas. Gotta go big.
Bacon grease on the grill propels that Angus patty with the power of pork. Then ciabatta makes it ciabetter by giving it extra firm buns.
Regular hamburger buns don't stand a chance on the hot beast. The beast will just eat it up. So while that's cooking, we fry a sunny side up egg.
In more bacon drippings, of course. Meanwhile, the beast emerges in the form of a swiney, spicy casserole.
Ooey gooey, melty cheesy. Let's start to build it up.
Salad on the side, Asian mayo on the ciabatta, and then Jackie buries the patty between thick, hot slabs of pork belly madness.
Because I want it as a surprise, you have to look for the Angus burger.
A drizzle of ranch dressing, a sizzle of sweet barbecue sauce, a fried egg explosion, then release the beast.
Right on grill, this is the hot beast from Truffles and Bacon.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Do it. Oh,
That's amazing. Look at that.
how is it?
It's delicious. It's mind-blowing.
is gigantic. It's phenomenal. It's full of flavor. I mean, it's probably bigger than my head, honestly.
This is the most creative burger I think I've ever seen. Filled with tater tots. Ooh, look at that. Cheesy, full of flavor, amaze balls.
It's a burger that attacks you.
From the cheese curls, from the Serrano chilies, it gives it that kick. This is what Vegas is about. So extra. I mean, how can you get more extra than this, right? Hashtag extra.
What happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas, and pork fans are finding it hard to keep quiet about the dark secret.
What is dark secret? It's our dessert. It's sweet, salty, savory because of the bacon jam.
In Jackie's hot jam, bacon grease is the word.
Bacon makes the world go around, and it is good.
Onions and garlic get sauteed, then a whole lot of what else?
Bacon.
Baked in-house, broken into bits, and sweetened with grade A maple syrup.
And now, the secret. Dun, 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 dun.
Which is?
I can't tell you.
While the bacon simmers in secrets, Jackie gets bacon mixing a batch of scrumptious brownies made with rich dark chocolate and another sexy surprise.
And finally, the dark secret, dark cherry. Because it's tart, and it's sweet, and it adds body to the brownies.
When the brownies are fully baked, she slices them into huge slabs of fudgy flavor.
We do a double-decker because this is Vegas and we double down in Vegas.
Unified by the sweet power of cream cheese, the double-stacked dessert is ready for
the one that makes the brownie, warm bacon jam. Chocolate and bacon, perfect marriage.
It's chocolate and bacon. Who can resist that? Not me.
Decadent and rich, smoky sweet flavor to it, but it's not too sweet where it overpowers the brownie. It actually complements it really well.
Some mad scientists in the back probably thought of this and like, you know what, let's just do it, and they did it. And they nailed it.
A brownie delight, a dark brownie delight, a demon brownie delight.
Bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and put it on my brownie, okay?
With their bacon sweets and burger beasts, everyone is rooting for truffles and bacon.
Truffles and bacon, this is swine lover's dream come true.
Besides being America's crustacean capital, Portland, Maine is equally proud of the pork pack pizzas served at Otto.
Pork goes with everything, you know? So, I mean, of course it would go on a pizza. Pizza's awesome.
Otto means 8 in Italian, as in 8 slices in a pizza and 8 different varieties done daily by friends Anthony Allen and Mike Keown.
Mike and I met in Massachusetts. Yeah, it was just the two of us starting. We would stretch a dough, top it, run back to the oven, deal with the customer, check the oven again, go back and forth.
Both the number of employees and the rotating 8 pie picks have grown.
They've just done a great job of developing their little niche of artisanal pizza with real special flavors that I had never seen before.
We use playful toppings, mashed potatoes, butternut squash, cranberries, really redefined what can be on pizza.
Like the smoked swine and tropical treats found atop this twisted take on Hawaiian pizza, the pulled pork and mango pie.
Classic combination, sweet and rich together. The sweetness and the acidity and the fruit just play on the richness of the meat.
The sweetness also wakes up all there is to savor in the spice rub.
Cayenne, chili powder, black pepper, cumin, garlic salt. The reason this pizza is so great and flavorful is all this combination of spices.
The key is thorough coverage on our grade A pork shoulder.
It's really important to get the spice into all the crevices of the pork. This is how it should look, flavor everywhere. A little red wine vinegar helps keep the pork nice and juicy and doesn't dry burn in the oven.
These Downeasters don't need a smoker.
See you in 8 hours, you sweet swine.
Alex improvises with a slow roast in the pizza oven.
This is like Christmas morning for a chef. Smells so good.
Supreme shreddiness comes to those who wait.
The smell never gets old. We always look forward to pork day. So we're gonna take the juice from the pork, mix it with the tomato sauce. Molasses gives it some really rich sweetness, and brown sugar.
Like a lot of kids from his generation, Alex's love of pizza was inspired by some animated reptiles.
Big Ninja Turtles fan, and the pepperoni gun on top of the van was my favorite part of it.
Each auto pie brandishes a rather distinctive flavor punch.
All of our pizzas start with a base of olive oil, black pepper, and Asiago. Just a unique combination. So we're gonna put dollops of the pulled pork all over the pizza. You wanna get a nice big bite of pork every time you munch into that slice.
Spicy pork and juicy mangoes are a perfect pairing. Now make way for whole milk mozzarella and heavy cream.
And just a pinch of salt to finish it off. And now she's off to the oven.
That puts the suey in sweet.
Pulled pork and mango pizza. Hog out.
I love pork, I love mango, so the combination of the two on a pizza is fantastic.
You don't lose the cheese, so it still tastes like pizza, but it also tastes like barbecue.
A little bit of the spicy pork, and then the mango kind of mellows it and sweetens it up for you.
It's like the perfect blend of the sweet from the mango and that salty juiciness of the pork.
Every pizza, and in fact every meal, should have this much pork.
Rating a perfect 10 on the pork comfort food scale is Otto's signature, the mashed potato, bacon, and scallion pie.
I had one idea of how to put potatoes in a pie. Mike thought, let's mash them, which was a much better idea.
We had bacon we were roasting in the oven, and it really worked.
It made sense immediately.
Alex makes like Thor on those pre-boiled potatoes.
The hammer of the gods.
Butter, salt, black pepper, and cream also get the mash.
Grandma would be proud.
Another spin and stretch, followed by the Otto originals.
Now our big mashed potatoes, mozzarella, a little bit of heavy cream.
Extra crispy bacon adds some salty texture.
Bacon is the perfect pizza ingredient. It has so many different options. You can pair it with so many different things. Nice big handful of bacon, because swine is so fine.
A sprinkle of scallions and a little spicy stuff, and we are go.
Oh, that is one fine looking swine. We're pizza making and eating bacon. This is why I love my job.
And when I first heard of mashed potato bacon scallion, I couldn't conceive of it, but you know, I wound up gaining 30 pounds eating it.
It's almost like a loaded mashed potato.
Salty, creamy, and then just finishes with a little bit of the scallion.
Soft, buttery mashed potatoes, and then you got the crunchy bacon with it, and just kind of can't go wrong.
The pizza at Otto is a big reason they should change the name of this town to Porkland.
This pizza's rock and roll!
They're pigging out big time in sunny Orlando, Florida, where there's always a veritable conga line of people looking to dine on swine.
Who doesn't love pork? I don't think I've ever met a pig I didn't like.
You can call me a pork aficionado.
And for one man named Sonny, pig has always been his passion.
When I was younger, I kind of came up with a ramen business plan to open a shop out of my garage with all of my cousins. I would be the cook, my cousin would be the dishwasher, my other cousin would be the waitress.
And Sonny was just 5 when he hatched this idea.
All you parents out there, your 5-year-old's dreams may come true.
That dream became a reality at his restaurant where everyone's high on the hog, Domu.
Domu means dream come true. Everything from the decor, the food, the cocktails, the choice of music, all comes from me.
As does his signature ramen, the Richie Rich.
Pork on pork on pork.
That means making sure even the broth is oingstra special.
What we have here are the pork femur bones and also the pork neck bones to give it a nice, rich, meaty flavor.
Bon appetit. Now let's soup it up.
All right, let's do it.
Onions dive in and he builds more flavor equity.
Typically, a miso base doesn't have pork in it, but we're just adding another $sign to that Richie Rich.
That miso is gonna boost this broth into the umami sphere.
We use sesame oil to cook the meat, so it gives a nice fragrance to the pork.
The pork is cooked in small pieces, tender and juicy. Then, a different miso paste brings a new taste.
We use the red miso just because it adds a little bit more depth of flavor, and it has just the right amount of saltiness.
The meat of the matter is a slab that makes for a superior soup.
Pork belly is my favorite because it has a good ratio of fat and meat to it, and just has a full flavor.
The belly gets brined with the marinade of soy sauce, mirin, sake, and then some.
Ginger and garlic are the core flavors of Asian cuisine.
Now, let's braise the roof.
Braising it makes it nice and tender.
When that meat comes out, there can be no doubt.
This meat's about to break off of my tongs right now. So what you see here is the marinade soaking in from that braise with all those delicious flavors.
Love me tender. Let's build this bowl.
We're gonna take that miso base, a nice scoop of that.
That gets whisked with soy, then the noodles made in-house on a machine imported from Japan get their moment to shine.
So all of our noodles are made fresh daily and made to order. It's all natural, so we only make enough to use that day. Since they're fresh noodles, they only take about 45 seconds.
In goes the pork belly and little Asian garnish, followed by a most excellent egg.
The final touch for this is we're gonna brulee our soft-boiled eggs.
That means dusting them with turbinado sugar and setting them ablaze for the crunchy, then silky, perfect bite.
This is one of my favorite parts of the job. Who doesn't love fire? It's just caramelizing onto the edge of that egg.
Pork and pyrotechnics. This dish is worth its weight in gold.
This ramen makes Richie Rich look broke.
It's so good.
It's like liquid pork gold.
I love these noodles so much.
Pork belly, it just falls apart in my mouth.
This is super pork on pork on pork action right here.
Go to the last slurp.
It's a non-stop pork stampede at Domu.
There's no such thing as too much pork. Bring more, keep it coming.
You're not a true swine connoisseur till you've been to New Jersey, where there's some honk they never taught at Hogwarts. A well-rounded treat known as pork roll.
It embodies New Jersey. This is what we're all about here.
Pork roll is like bacon's brother.
It's like really thinly sliced ham.
The flavor, the crispness of it, just the way it blends in with the cheese.
Pork roll is very specific to New Jersey. The best way to kind of describe it would be a cross between Canadian bacon and bologna, but I feel like none of that's doing it justice.
They roll it out daily at the Committed Pig.
Committed Pig!
An unusual name with deep meaning to chef and owner Jerry Rotunno.
The name The Committed Pig comes from an old fable that talks about the difference between involvement and commitment. It's like the dish bacon and eggs, where the chicken is involved, but the pig is committed.
Jerry fully commits to the power of pork roll on the kitchen sinker.
The kitchen sinker is basically a pork roll sandwich with everything but the kitchen sink on it.
The many ingredients do harmonize in sync like a boy band, but don't kid yourself, pork roll is the Timberlake here.
We're gonna start off with scoring the pork roll.
The small cuts turn the 7 slices into a kind of fragrant pork bouquet and has some thick-cut bacon sounds.
Sizzling is music to my ears. Why it's important to cut it is you can see right now it's not raising off the grill and it keeps nice flat, gives you a really nice layer of crisp on it.
Now deal out some cheese.
American is a great melting cheese. All right, we're gonna flip the bacon. Oh, beautiful.
And the pork roll stack-tacular.
We're gonna go ahead and cut our brioche.
A nice blend of fluffy and sturdy, perfect for absorbing any tasty egg yolk runoff.
The yolk is what adds the sexy to the dish when you bite into it and it's coming out of the side. And now we're gonna top it with 2 obnoxiously large pieces of bacon. And now we're gonna add a little color and creaminess with avocado.
A few waffle fries riding shotgun.
And now we have the kitchen sinker.
That's good.
There's layers and layers and layers of the pork roll on here, which just gives it the flavor that I love. God bless this place.
Some call New Jersey America's breakfast sandwich capital. Now, the Committed Pig is muscling in on brunch with their croque madame.
The croque madame is an awesome brunch sandwich. It's ham and cheese with an egg on top and then our Mornay sauce.
Yep, the pork roll gets a vacation because the temp agency sent over a nice Virginia ham.
We're definitely not shy with our ham. We put the ham on the grill just to give it a little bit more flavor. It opens up, gets hot, gets a little bit crispy.
Let's talk Mornay sauce. For those who haven't had the pleasure, is it like a gravy?
It's more like a sexy queso.
But the cheese blend is less zesty, more silky.
First, we're gonna start with our fontina. Then we're gonna go with the white cheddar. Making it rain. And finally, our Gruyere.
Stir and stir and stir.
And that's the Mornay sauce.
The ham gets folded and stacked, and this time the sexy fried egg leaves nothing to the imagination. It's right out in the open.
Now we're topping with the Mornay sauce. And a side of fries. Ham it up. It's the croque madame.
Wow. Just that big pile of hot, delicious, juicy ham in the middle with the gravy and the egg just sort of like going between all the layers is just amazing.
And then the toasted bread. I love how it adds the crunch, especially with the melted Swiss from the Fontina.
More pork than I've seen on a sandwich in quite a while.
Yeah, Jerry, is it possible your sandwiches have too much pork?
What is too much pork? It's a ridiculous question. Next question. I don't want to answer that.
From juicy carnitas to crispy chicharrones, Mexican pork snacks cover a lot of ground. And in Studio City, in LA's San Fernando Valley, they're swining it up big time at Mercado Taqueria.
Like a polka-palooza.
I'm pigging out.
I want people to walk in to our restaurants and walk out happier than when they walked in.
Longtime friends Jesse Gomez and Jose Acevedo are the partners in swine at Mercado Taqueria, where their passionate, no-holds-barred approach is putting fresh moves on pork.
We're a true blue wrestling tag team.
In the spirit of Lucha Libre, Jesse and Jose throw down their mucho popular Nachos Libres.
He didn't want to make them because nachos aren't very authentic Mexico City-style food, but we have fun, and so he made them one day, and they were amazing, and he hasn't stopped making them since.
What's the secret to all the Libre love?
We give people what they love, cheese and pork.
The match begins with a chorizo cheese tag team known as
Choriqueso. Basically, it is cheese with pork. The right combination with the cheese and the spices on the pork.
Jose welcomes shallots and garlic into hot olive oil, fires it up with wine, and cools it down with cream.
What the cream do to this dish is make the cheese a little more refined, more complex, make it a little more like a sauce.
As the sauce thickens, he adds a sharp jack cheese, salty cotija, and melty Oaxaca. That rich, creamy queso makes a perfect partner for Jose's homemade chorizo. And this is when pigs fry. Fresh mushrooms and roasted poblano peppers join the party, and they brought more wine. Then the magic of cheese. And we have us a cherry queso.
It's a lot of love in each bite. Now we're gonna put our nachos together.
House-made chips form a foundation. Then black beans, the pork-infused cheese sauce, and a rainbow of freshness from juicy red to crunchy purple.
Now, our main ingredient, there is the carnitas.
The perfect topping for that cheesy monument of pork? More pork.
You see how crispy it is on the upside and how nice and tender are on the other side?
House-made pickled veggies add a little bitterness, and fresh-made guacamole puts the cream of the crop right up top.
It is the Nachos Libres a Mercado Taqueria. Pork paradise.
Oh my goodness. This is the body slam of nachos.
It's delicious. Tastes like bacon.
It's a very thick, gooey, delicious. Queso is my jam.
This is nacho average nacho.
Perfect pork is king of the ring at Mercado Taqueria.
Pig out.
Let's do it.
Pig out early and often in food paradise.